Welcome, yogi, to this chair yoga practice for when you've been traveling. You can actually do this practice at any time. It's really good if you've been sitting a lot. And with it being a traveling practice, we're going to assume that all you have with you is a chair. You don't need a yoga mat or any blocks, so it can be done anywhere. So we will begin seated for our start, but we will get up relatively quickly, assuming you've been sitting either in a car or in airplanes or on trains. So take a seat just for a moment while we connect to our breaths. And we'll do that with movement. So as you inhale, open your arms out quite low, back, and lift up your chin and your chest. Give the upper back a squeeze. Fill up your belly, and as you exhale, place your hands lightly together in front of you. Inhale, open the arms out and back. And exhale, bring the hands in. And again, inhale, open the arms up and back, out and back, sorry. And exhale, bring them in. Good, hands to your knees. Lift up your chin and your chest. And start to lean forwards. Put your elbows onto your knees, or maybe even wiggle the feet out a bit. And if you can, reach down for the floor. So if the floor is too far away, you can keep your elbows on your knees. This is just a gentle low back release. Sometimes some tension can accumulate in your low back when you've been sitting and traveling. And just taking some deep breaths. And we'll walk the elbows back up onto the knees if you could reach the floor there. Take another breath at that halfway point. And exhale. Sit all of the way up, yogi. Coming upright. Now clasp your hands behind your back if you can, interlacing all of your fingers. If that's a little tricky with your shoulders, if your chair has some parts that you can hold onto and squeeze open, that works just as well. Open into the chest and breathe. Now we'll release the hands and pick up the right knee and squeeze it as close in towards you as you can. That could be holding the thigh or the shin. Pick it up and in, really close. So if we've been stuck in this 90-degree bend, we're just looking to explore more range here, a gentle stretch for the hip flexors. And we're going to stretch them out the other way when we're standing too. And release that right leg. And take a hold of your left leg. You could hold the thigh or the shin. If your knee is tied to the thigh, might be better. Pull it in and in. Give it a good squeeze and a deep breath. And another. Good. Release. Stand up, please, yogi. Come all the way up. And put your chair out to one side of you with the chair top within reach so that you can hold it for balance. Stand up really tall. We're going to rise up to tiptoes with fingertips on the chair. Really squeeze your calf muscles, get them strong, pumping the blood back up towards your heart with the strong muscles in the legs, and soften down to your heels. Good. Now lift the right foot and step it back. Lift your right hand up if you can. You've got the left hand here for the chair. Right hand stretches high, and you're just giving yourself a lovely stretch through this whole right side of the body, especially through the hip flexor, through the front of that right hip. That's it. Good, we'll bring the hand down. Step forwards. Rise up to your tiptoes. Squeeze the calves again. And back down. Now take this right foot off and back and to the left. So it's a little bit out to the side there. I hope you can see. If you can, start to lean back into that foot. Now the right foot points at the back of the left heel. So it's slightly sideways and you've got your chair there for balance. Bend your left knee. I know this is a bit funky, but it's a really good side stretch. Take your right hand back up and reach over to the left. So now it's a little bit more in the waist, perhaps. You might feel it in that hip flexor like you did the lunge, or you might feel it more in the side of your body. Reach over the top and take a deep breath. Make sure you've got your balance with the chair and your feet. And we'll bring the hand back out and step on back up and stand tall. One more time, tiptoes and back down. Again, move your chair over to the other side. And we'll do the same thing. You could also just turn around. We'll lift up high onto your tiptoes, squeeze the calves. Breathe while you're up there and soften down. Step your left foot back. You land on the toes. You've got your chair right next to you for your balance, so you're not going to wobble sideways. Take your left hand up, reach it up and back. Squeeze the left glute a little bit, so you're activating the left side of your bum to stretch out the left hip flexor. Remember to breathe. And we'll bring the hand down. Hand back up to standing. Again, up to tiptoes, just trying to get lots of movement through your ankles and your lower legs in this session today. And down, and in this funky side stretch. So your left foot goes back and to the right. Those left toes point to the back of a right foot. So it's sideways. It helps you with your stability. And your right knee is a bit bent. And your chair's right there too. Left hand goes up. And side stretch towards the chair side of the room. So you're going over to the right. Now stretch through the waist and the hip. Good job, Yogi. Come on out, nice and easy. Carefully come back up to standing. One final time. Tiptoes. And lower down. Good. Let's get a little stretch through the low back here. So we're going to stand behind the chair. Doesn't matter where you are in space, as long as you've got a little bit of room to step back now. Hold on to the top of the chair and walk your feet back. Okay, so you're looking for most of your weight to be in your legs. You're not leaning forwards into the chair. Feel nice and stable. And we're just stretching here back through the hips a little bit. If your shoulders feel a bit pinchy, you could lift your chest more or have your hands wider. Just also maybe feeling some stretch through the legs, and you can pedal the legs out. One leg and then the other, bending one and then the other. Good. And then, as I promised, a low back stretch. Sometimes that area can get a little tight when we've been sitting. Walk your feet as if the chair is the center of a clock. Walk your feet to the right, as if you're walking around to like 4 or 5 on the clock. Once you're there, your feet are still facing the chair, perhaps the back left chair leg. Now bend your right knee and pull your hips around a bit as if they want to reach to 3 on the clock. So they continue to go around, but your feet are where they are. And you're holding onto the chair with your left hand and creating some space through the left low back and waist. Take another deep breath there. And start to come back through to the middle, back to 6 on a clock. And we're going to continue walking around as if to 7 or 8 on the clock face, if the chair is up at 12 or in the middle. Once you're there, point your feet to the back right chair leg. Bend your left knee and move your hips around as if the hips want to reach to 9 on the clock. So they want to keep going left, but you're holding onto the chair with your right hand. You're giving yourself a lovely stretch through the right side of your body. Take another breath, Yogi. Beautiful. And come back to the middle. We're going to lift the chest up some, step your right foot towards your chair, and turn your left toes now as if they're pointing to 11 on a clock. Get your spine really long, both legs straight. And as you exhale, start to lean forwards. And you could be that you rest your forearms on the chair. You might go a little lower down the chair, it's fine, but we're stretching now into the back of the leg, into the hamstring or into the calf. One more breath. Keeping the back long is really important in this pose. It's not about how low you go, but keeping the spine long, like lifting your tailbone up. There you go. And we'll carefully release, bend the right knee, step your way back, and step your left foot forwards. Left foot goes straight ahead. Right toes turn out to 1 o'clock, and both legs are straight. Take a breath in, you lift up and lengthen. Maintain that length through your spine and hinge from the hips until you start to feel a stretch in the back of the left leg. And again, the more you kind of lift up the tailbone, as if you tilt your pelvis more forwards, the more it'll stay in your leg. You want to feel this in your leg, not your back in this pose. Lovely, Yogi. Bend the front knee to release. Start to walk your way back up and step your way up. Take a breath, standing tall. Good. And let's take one more pose. We will sit and take a twist. So if you'd like to take your seat, and we're going to turn our whole body to the right. So you'll sat sideways on your chair if you can. That's it. And then you'll hold onto the chair back and turn and look back over the right shoulder. Just getting a whole spinal twist here. Take a deep breath. Exhale. And then a nice little shimmy all the way around to the other side, so to center, and around to the left. Getting tall, hold onto the chair with your hands and start to rotate to the left, looking over the left shoulder if you can. And we'll release and start to turn forwards. Sitting up tall. Take a deep breath in and out. If you have a little time to sit back and rest, I recommend doing so. Perhaps if you have a few moments to sit in meditation, to feel grounded and centered wherever you are. Let's bring our hands together. Thank yourself for taking time to stretch, to move. Enjoy a deep breath in and let it go. Thank you for joining me, Yogi. Namaste.